What's up, guys? It's me, the ALE Double X Prince. And the reason why I'm wearing headphones because since I'm still sick, I could actually put these on and hear my volume of how loud and how low I am, unlike the last video, which I apologize for. I want to give you another top 10. You know, I got kind of bored. I did one for the top 10 my favorite movies of all time. I did one for my favorite wrestlers of all time. And I kind of promised that I would give you guys the top matches of all time. So yeah, male wrestlers done, movies done, male matches. Let's go. Before I get started, I do have some honorable mentions. Actually, damn, I could actually hear myself perfectly. So yeah, that'll be perfect. So here are my honorable mentions. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn from NXT TakeOver Dallas. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock from WrestleMania 17. The first ever TLC match from SummerSlam 2000. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Chris Benoit from WrestleMania 20. Undertaker versus Mankind, King of the Ring 1998, the Hell in a Cell match that made Mick Foley. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels from SummerSlam 2002. Kazuchika Okada versus Hiroshi Tanahashi from last year's Wrestle Kingdom. Macho Man Randy Savage versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat from WrestleMania 3. AJ Styles versus Minoru Suzuki from New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax 24, Day 7. And the one that just made it, that almost made it, was Kevin Steen versus El Generico from ROH Final Battle 2010. This was the Mask versus Career match. It was an incredible match, but not quite made it to my top 10. But here are my top 10 favorite matches of all time. Coming in at number 10, I got John Cena versus CM Punk from WWE's Money in the Bank 2011. What a perfect story going into it. I remember I was 12 years old watching this, and I was like, what the heck is CM Punk talking about? The famous pipe bomb, of course. And then I'm like, wow, I don't think he's going to win. I mean, Cena beats everybody. And damn, was I wrong. CM Punk, it's basically a modern version of the Montreal Screwjob where Vince McMahon tried to ring the bell, but John Cena punched John Laurinaitis and said, no, we're doing this my way. And it was perfect, and it showed that CM Punk is definitely one of the top guys of all time. This made CM Punk... Actually, without this match, we wouldn't have no YWC. I mean, honestly, IWC, YWC, whatever you want to call it, without this match, that wouldn't have existed, which made this even more bigger because, you know, that's what made people start talking about how the company's not right and wrong, and it was just brilliantly done, and I really enjoy this match. It's one of my favorite matches of all time. Number 10. Coming in at number 9, another CM Punk match, but this is from his indie route. CM Punk versus Samoa Joe from ROH Joe Punk 2, 2004. I mean, it ended in a draw. It showed two great wrestlers could definitely go at it, and, you know, you could have a draw and it would still be that damn amazing. It was a really good match with showing that CM Punk and Samoa Joe are just so phenomenal in the ring. I kind of wish if CM Punk came back, I want to see Joe Punk again. It just shows you how great these guys are. And it shows that, you know, CM Punk's been trying to beat him, but he couldn't. And you know what? It was just really great story and just a great match overall. Honestly, my favorite indie match, because this is the only indie match in my top 10, coming in at number 9, which is saying a lot. So kudos for that. Coming in at number 8, Bret the Hitman Hart versus Davey Boy Smith from SummerSlam 1992. Yes, the best UK match I've ever seen. Hold on. Basically, at first, it was like, you would never expect the IC Championship match to be in the main event. But they talked to Vince. They said, put us in the main event. You'll see that we got something great. And they pulled off an amazing match. Honestly, if this wasn't the main event for 1992, I'm pretty sure people would boo. People wouldn't talk about this match as much. But the fact that it was the main event gave it an even bonus. And I like the finish. It was actually pretty brilliant. Bret Hart tries to go for a roll-up. Davey Boy Smith just sits down, does the pinfall. And Davey Boy Smith wins. showing that Bret Hart will put over his family, and easily the best SummerSlam match ever. It was just a really classic old school match, honestly. And this is my favorite Intercontinental Championship match, shockingly. And then coming in at number 7, we had the match that made everything incredible. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels from WWF Bad Blood 1997. Yes, the first ever Hell in a Cell match. This one made they brought up the debut of Kane, the Great Kane. Undertaker looked like a badass. Shawn Michaels showed that he had some good moves. And it was just a damn good match. I mean, it shows that these guys had amazing chemistry, which led to future matches that you'll see in this list. So I really enjoyed this match. I really loved it. It was bloody too. I mean, shoot. I mean, I rewatching it. It's like, damn, I can't believe it was that damn bloody. So yeah. And then coming in at number 6, a match so great, so amazing that no one's ever gonna talk about it again. Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit from Royal Rumble 2003. You know, today marks the day that Benoit died. Technically, it was yesterday, but Benoit and Kurt Angle had great chemistry, and it showed that Chris Benoit was qualified to be a future WWE/World Champion. And it was just a great in-ring storytelling match. I like that suplex with Kurt Angle rolling and falling flat on his face. It was just a damn good match. And it showed because previously they were a tag team. Now they're going against each other. So I like that story of former tag teams now going against each other. You know, it's really great when they play off that story. And usually if you're not the Hart Foundation, then you can't really play it as well. But this one actually kind of worked. These guys weren't brothers, but they felt like it by the in-ring ability that they both had. Even Kurt Angle has said in previous interviews. Coming in at number 5, we're down to the top 5, and honestly, I can't wait to talk about these. Coming in at number 5, the beginning of the Attitude Era, Bret the Hitman Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin from WrestleMania 13. This match just had to be somewhere. I mean, you can't make a top 10 greatest matches of all time without including this one. This changed the game. Because originally it was going to be Shawn Michaels versus Bret the Hitman Hart. But Shawn Michaels lost his smile because he didn't want to put over Bret Hart. Because at the time, Shawn Michaels was a piece of shit son of a bitch. So Stone Cold took his spot. And damn, was it one of the best things ever. I mean, just showing, it showed a technical match plus a brawling match. 2 different chemistries that worked amazingly. It was bloody as hell. And to top it off, Ken Shamrock as your special guest referee. And the ending was easily what people talk about to this day. I mean, that's saying a lot. And that is, of course, actually, now that I mention it, doesn't this mark like 20 years since that match? Yeah, that's saying a lot. Because, I mean, Bret Hart put Stone Cold in the sharpshooter. Stone Cold's bleeding like a motherfucker, but he won't tap out. He just passes out, making everybody look strong. And then they did the famous double turn. Bret Hitman Hart turned heel, Stone Cold turned the face, and it just led to greatness afterwards. I love this match. It was honestly what began the Attitude Era. Coming in at number 4, one of the first matches I've ever seen in my life. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels from WWE WrestleMania 25. The 25th anniversary of WrestleMania, even though it's not the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania. That show was not that great, except for this match. Basically, they told the story of Shawn Michaels like, you know what, you've been taking on every single body, but you haven't taken the greatest of all time. So, that's fine. People always call this the greatest match of all time, and it's said that for a reason. I mean, you have the 2 greatest hard-working wrestlers of all time. If you guys seen my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time, these are my top 2. Undertaker being the first, obviously. But Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker just went out and just did all the crazy moves, and it began what people call shocking, which is the tombstone pile driver shocker, which is when you hit the tombstone, you kick out. I'll still remember when Jim Ross goes, and I kick out. It was just great. I love it. I think it's just a masterpiece of a match. And I already knew that Undertaker was gonna win, but it was still a damn good match. I mean, shit. So yeah, I really enjoyed this match. One of the best. Now we're down to the top 3. Coming in at number 3, Triple H versus Cactus Jack from the Royal Rumble 2000. Another one of the first matches I've seen. I mean, obviously I wasn't born around this time. People showed me this match. People always told me that this was their favorite matches of all time. And I wanted to watch it. I'm like, why is everybody talking about it? And it was brutal as shit. Showing that Mick Foley doesn't give a fuck and he will put his body on the line. Triple H, the badass that he is. It was just a well done match and with a good story going into it. I mean, it's sad that we never get matches like this anymore. Like, even Lucha Underground, which is my favorite company right now, can't even pull off something this great, because this is what a great story is. And I appreciate the hard work that these two guys have done, and it's just really good. I really appreciate the hard work, and then the thumbtacks, the bleeding. It was just brutal to watch sometimes. It was just I can't watch it, but it was great. It's supposed to make you feel that way, and you know, you don't get matches like that anymore. Now we're down to the top 2. Now, I'm not the highest on tag team matches unless if you're like in a ladder match or some shit like that. But I like when it's actually kind of good when good tag teams just go one-on-one and they pull it off. When tag teams could just go one-on-one, no stipulations, then I'm all for it. And for this being my number 2 favorite match of all time, saying a lot. From No Mercy 2002, Edge and Rey Mysterio versus Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle. Again, talking about former tag teams. You know, Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit were kind of thrown together, and they showed that they had great chemistry. Edge and Rey Mysterio looked like they were good friends, so they kind of put them together. Sorry. And it was just brilliant work from everybody. I mean, it made Edge look like $1,000,000. I mean, Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit were already at the top of their game. And this just kind of helped Edge and Rey Mysterio look strong, even though they lost, which is saying so much. Yeah, it just showed that tag teams could work really well if put right. And this is just a damn right good match. Easily the greatest tag team match of all time for me. I mean, it's really good for it to be this high on my list. But it couldn't top my number 1 match. My favorite match of all time, and you guys might know it if you guys saw my top 10 WrestleMania matches, or if you guys were part of XX Mania, but it's got to be Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker from WrestleMania 26. 26 years of Shawn Michaels, and he went at it. I mean, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker just went out there. It's basically a rematch, but it was a rematch that was needed because Shawn Michaels said, you know what? There's no point of wrestling anymore if you can't beat the streak. I have done it all except beat the streak. And I know I could beat him. And then Shawn Michaels cost Undertaker the World Championship, showing that he does not give a fuck about the World Heavyweight Championship. He just wants to go one-on-one with The Undertaker. At this point, he just wants to beat the streak because that's more valuable than any world title given to him. And Undertaker accepted if he put his career on the line. Shawn Michaels was willing to put his career on the line to try to take on Undertaker. And Shawn Michaels was still a great wrestler at this point. So him beating Undertaker could have been the greatest moment of his life. But instead, he got an even bigger moment by fully ending his career. Because how great is it that he ended his career, but he didn't go to TNA, he didn't go to RH, he didn't come back. You know, he said, you know what, it's time put it all on the line. And the best part about it, I was there. Being part of it was even bigger for me. And I couldn't be more happier than saying that this is the greatest match of all time. I love this match with a passion. Yes, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, the two greatest performers of all fucking time, going at it. And it was my favorite match of all time. Honestly, if this was Undertaker's last match, I would have been happy with that too. But you know what? He got more matches down the road, so I'm cool with that. So anyways, it's me, the AL Lead XX Prince. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. If you have any requests for some videos, I'm trying to catch to 400 so I can tell you the 12th great story of my life. Anyways, until then, I'm out.